But again, one of the ways that we're bonded over the years is mutual admiration of the comedian Bill Maher.
Yeah.
And again, sort of this, it's not particularly that it's about being a leftist. It's just like he's familiar to 20 years ago what the left meant.
Right.
And the left's gone way crazier. Conversely, some of the stuff that he's saying is pretty obvious, is defined as right.
Well, common sense has become right. I mean, it's as simple as that, really.
Well, perfect example, right? This is his show on Friday on HBO. Have a look at this, and I want to get your reaction to his thoughts about protesting on college campuses, free Palestine, and the reality that people might have to thank Trump for actually doing that.
Have you noticed that now that Hamas has taken over again, they're what?
Shooting everybody.
Shooting everybody. Where are the protesters? Suddenly, the keffiyeh-wearing college kids are very
Can't be found. Yeah, can't be found anywhere.
This is okay. It's just amazing the asymmetry of what goes on.
Well,
right.
Well, look, Bill's been great, particularly on this Palestine stuff. He's been particularly good. This is a guy who relentlessly defends free speech. So you want to run around out there and scream about freeing Palestine, a state which never existed, designed in the minds of people only to destroy states which do exist. And I know I just left Melbourne as they were doing their weekly big rally, which everyone was like, you want to get out before that because you can't go shopping, you can't get anything to eat. Clearly, it's taken over the city, and they've been doing it now for 2 years. You'd think they'd be having a rally rejoicing that their perceived genocide is over, but we know it's not really about that. But Trump does deserve a lot of credit. He deserves all the credit because he did the thing that everyone said couldn't be done. He changed the culture. Politics is downstream from culture. That's the great Andrew Breitbart line. And Trump changed the culture. So you know what? You want to go out there and rally against Trump and do all these things, the no kings and all that, that's just fine. And you know what Donald Trump's going to do? He's going to jump on Truth Social and put a meme up of him flying in a jet. Did you see this one this afternoon? They claimed it was dropping dirt on people. It looked like poop to me, but either way, and that actually is kind of healthy in its own weird way.
Well, I don't think that his trolling has ever been better than when he's doing the sombrero on people, and even the Daily Show. Right?
Well, they tell you that the sombrero, so they said the sombrero thing was racist. It's like, you know what? Have you ever been to a Mexican joint? On your birthday, they will put a sombrero on your hat and sing to you. So are they racist or are you racist?
Correct. The phenomena of people's reaction to Charlie Kirk, right, is, and I remember saying that I think his murder will have the cultural significance for millions of people that many of the assassinations of the 60s will have, right? And some people just, how dare you, you're comparing him to Martin Luther King. No, I'm not. I'm saying millions of people got the message, liked the packaging of the message, right? And he opened many a mind, right? Yeah. I also think that the fact that his legacy will grow is a big part in part because Trump's in power, right? Mm-hmm. They have the ability to name a day after him, to build a monument, to keep, Medal of Freedom consciousness, right? Keep thinking about if it was the Democrats, it'd be a 2-day story of a guy off the internet, right? Yeah. But a few weeks on, how are you about the Charlie of it all?
Look, as you know, Charlie was a good friend of mine. We did these college events together, dozens and dozens of them years ago, before we all called it woke, and it was just sort of bubbling up of the craziness on college campuses. And we were going there, and they were pulling fire alarms and calling in death threats and all of the stuff. But Charlie relentlessly wanted to affect young people. He wanted them to be exposed to new ideas. He saw the indoctrination centers. He's deeply missed. I mean that as a human being. But the hole that he has left, everyone says you should talk to people from the other side. Everyone says it, and almost nobody does it. And even me, who really made my bones as someone that did that when I was on the left and I started to talk to these scary people on the right, like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro and Dennis Prager and Charlie Kirk. Yeah. It's very hard for me to do now because there's almost nobody on the left that will talk back, right? So I can talk to Bill Maher. But, really in terms of who's left on the liberal side of things that's willing to talk, there's almost nobody. Charlie was doing it better than anybody. And I don't know that gaping hole can be filled. I think it's incumbent on all of us to do it the best we can. But I think what we're going to see, unfortunately, is that the sides will keep going further and further. But the legacy of Charlie, which was not only just to reach out to people, the two other things were be proud of your country and know your history. Understand what the United States of America really is. And then parallel to that, he had his personal belief and his personal faith that he was proud to talk about. And he didn't demand that anyone live by his faith, but he was proud to share that. And he did something that I think we will all look back. I think people are seeing it now. They're looking at his old clips going, man, I wish I paid more attention to this guy, as famous and influential as he was.
Yeah, I've got that feeling that the first round of clips was, again, the content that he creates. The second round might well all be black and white.
Yeah.
And the greater focus there. And then, again, the third round where to quote him will be a way of showing not just that you got how good he was at communicating, but you see him as someone a little above the average kind of rant of the day.
He really was. You know, look, I fight with these ding dongs on Twitter sometimes, and the language can get messy and all those things. And he really didn't do that. He in some sense, at a political level, he was the best of us. And again, it's our job, I think, all of us, you here, me over there, to go in and fill that up. Because at some point, you know, if you just keep going your separate ways, that's where the really bad stuff happens.
Well, and again, we've talked about it how many times, but it's part of the way to connect back is, you know, left and right listen to music, left and right watch TV shows. So the capacity to...
They can't create music anymore, and they can't create TV shows anymore, and they can't create comedy anymore, and they can't create art anymore. But yes, I suppose... But isn't that so sad? I mean, think about that. In the old days, the 60s, 70s, 80s, it was the lefties that were the creators, right? They were the musicians. They were the comics and all of those things. There's nothing edgy out of a lefty comic now. It's hysterical and kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
You want to be edgy these days, you would lean more towards a conservative view of the world. That in and of itself is such a bizarro flip. But again, that again shows you that unbelievable force of nature that is Trump.
He's a big brain, a big heart, and a lovely man. Dave Rubin, you can go and see him Sydney and in Queensland as well. Again, one more time, daverubin.com/events.
I'm putting you on payroll after this.
Anytime. Thank you, man. Thank you, and enjoy your time here. It's a great country.
Thank you.